welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we will be deploying a Java-based Spring Boot application to Azure Kubernetes service, and everything we'll be doing from scratch. That means first of all, we'll create a Azure Kubernetes service in Azure portal. Then we'll be creating Azure container registry. Then using Azure Devops organization, we'll be creating a pipeline, CI/CD pipeline. And finally, using release pipelines, we'll be deploying our application to AKS. Okay, so make sure to follow the whole video and watch the whole video. Also, whatever script or commands I am going to use in the video, everything will be mentioned either in the description or in the comment section. So with that being said, let's get started. Okay, so first of all, we'll be creating a Azure Kubernetes cluster. So for that, you need to go on this URL, which is portal.azure.com. And I hope that you already having an account. If you are not, then you can follow my previous videos, which I will put in description. Okay, so when you are on this page, you need to search for Kubernetes. And you can see in services, first one is coming, Kubernetes services. So we will click on it. And here we need to create a new one. So we'll click on create and select the option create a Kubernetes cluster. Okay, so yeah, so now here we need to select things. So my subscription is free trial, and I have already created one resource group with my own name and cluster details. I will keep it to standard and provide a name, Azure Kubernetes cluster name. So we will provide demo-aks1, and region you can select whichever is nearest. And also there is a limit on the free subscription based on region. So because of that, I cannot select this ones again. So what I will do, I will select UK West, and then okay, and server availability I will set it to 99.5, and here I will keep auto scale to 2 nodes. Then click on next, again next, and yeah, this is also we'll leave it as it is. Rest okay, container registry, so as of now we don't have. Okay, so we will leave it as it is, and then yeah, rest we can just click on next, review. So it is actually validating with the details that we have filled, and if everything is correct, then we can click on create to create the so you can see where it says validation passed. So we can click on this option which says create, and you can see here initializing template deployment to resource group Aditya. So this is going to take like quite a time, like 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so we are going to wait for some time, and once it is done, then we will resume the video. Okay, so we can see in the notification our resource has been created. So we can go to resource, and here we can see the status. Okay, so as we can see, it is in running status, and the basic information about our cluster is provided here, and we can see the Kubernetes resources. So most of them will be just default ones, because as of now we have not deployed anything. Okay, so we will leave it as it is, and we will go back to home, and in search icon we need to search container registry, because we are going to create a new container registry for our Docker repository. Okay, so it is empty as of now. I will click on create. Okay, so resource group, I will select the one which is already created, and here we need to provide a registry name. So I will provide the name as AKS ACR. Okay, already created, maybe one. Okay, I will just provide my name. Okay, so this name is available. In location, you can select the one which is nearest to you. So I'll select UK West, and SQ I will leave it to standard. Then networking, here also We'll click next, and if everything is fine for validation, then we can click on create. Okay, validation has passed successfully, so we will click on create, and you can see initializing deployment. Okay, so it is in still progress. Let's see how much time does it take. Okay, so it has deployed. We can click on go to resource, and to see your Docker images which has been pushed from Azure Devops pipeline, we can click here repositories below services. As of now it should be empty because we do not have pushed anything. Okay, yeah, so nothing is inside there. Okay, so two of the most important thing that we are supposed to use in our deployment has been created. And next, what we need to do, we need to connect our VM as a agent, and then install like certain tools like JDK, Maven, Docker, and Kubectl. These four things are basically the prerequisites if you want to deploy an application using your own VM. So next part, we'll be doing that. Okay, so the VM that we are going to use for deployment needs to be added as a runner first. So for that, first of all, we need to install Docker, Maven, and Java. And for that, these are the commands and these are the links that needs to be followed, nothing else. Okay, so as you can see, I have already installed. Now what we need to do, we need to add this VM as a runner. For that, we will go to our organization, go to organization settings here, and scroll down and click on agent pools. And here we need to create a pool. We will select the type as self-hosted and provide a name. So I will provide as pool 10 and click on create. Now we will open the pool and go to agents, click on new agent. Now since we have a Linux machine, so we will click on this and click on this copy URL. Now we will download the package using wget command. Paste the URL and download. Yeah, so this is download. Now we will follow the steps next, which is to create this folder, paste it here. Now we need to extract this this package which we have downloaded just now. Okay, yeah, once extracted, we need to run this command to configure. Okay, extracted. Now we will run this command. Provide y, and for server URL we will copy the organization name till this and paste it here. Authentication we will be using pat, and for token we can go back to organization, open it in a new page, and here on user settings you can see the option personal access tokens. We will click on it, click on new token, and here we'll provide pat2 and full access and click on create. Copy the token and paste it here. As you can see, it is saying connecting to server agent pool. So we have already created pool named as 10. Let me just cross check if the name is correct or not. We will go back to here, organization settings, then pools. Okay, pool 10, yes. Click enter. Agent name, I'll provide the agent name as agent01. Click enter. Successfully added the agent, testing agent. Okay, work folder, I'll provide same as it is. Now agent has been added. To start the agent, we can run this command /run.sh and click enter. Okay, you can see it is saying listening for jobs. If I go back to our organization, open the pool, click on agents, you can see it says it is online. Okay, one more thing before we start, one more thing we need to do. We will click on the agent click on capabilities and click on plus icon, and we will add one user defined capability, which is Maven. Value will be true. This is required because we are going to run Maven project, and if we have not added this, then it will give error. So we'll just click on add. Okay, now this part is done. Now next what we need to do, we will perform the CI part of the application, CI part of the whole video, which is like building the application, then building the Docker image and pushing it to our container registry. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so now we have added our VM as an agent. Next, we need to build our application. So I have created this project and I have pushed one source code, and I have taken it from GitHub, one of the repository which was open source. I'll provide a link and you can use the same. So actually there were several other files, but I have removed the ones which I did not require at the point, and I have I'm remained with these files only. So if you are going to do the same thing as I am going to do, then you can also keep your repository in the same way that I have. Okay, now what we will do, we will go to pipelines, create pipeline, and here I'll use classic editor, and we will select Maven. Okay, so first of all, in pipeline section, we will add our agent. This is the agent pool. Next, here also same thing, and yeah. Next, in Maven, we will run the package command itself, nothing else. And in place of copy files, we are not going to copy the jar file. Instead, we are going to copy the YAML file. So what I will do, I will open the repository, open this file, copy the name and paste it here, because this is the file which we are going to use for deployment. So I will copy this file and publish in the artifact name. Okay, yeah, this is done. Next, what we need to do, we need to run the docker commands. For that, I will search here as docker, and here we will select this one, first one, click on add, and here it is asking for container registry. As of now, since we have already created, but we need to provide the service connection. So for that, we will click on manage, click on create service connection. Here we will select Docker registry, scroll down, click on next, and here it will automatically fetch the subscription, and with that we will provide the authentication. Okay, so I'll provide the email and along with the password. Yeah, once you provide the user email and password, automatically it can be completed. And next we need to select the repository container registry. So you can see this one is appearing. This is the same which we have created. We'll select it and provide a name as ACRCon, which is ACR connection, and click on save. Okay, once the connection is set up, then in our pipeline we can select this particular container registry. Okay, this is done. We will go back, and here now you can see it is coming ACRCon, and here in place of container repository we can provide any name. So what I will do, I'll provide the name as ACR Repo 1. Okay, now this is done. Build context, and now everything is fine. We are going to build and push both. Okay, so this is fine. Now what I will do, I will just click on save and queue and click on save and run. Okay, so the job has started, and let's see now what happens. Since the job is running for the first time, so in Maven stage it might take little bit of time. Okay, so it is downloading dependencies and this is going to take a little bit of time. So what I will do, I will just fast forward the video until this part is completed. Okay, so as you can see, the build is successful and our Docker image has been built as well as pushed inside the container registry. Okay, so this part is done. Next, what we need to do, we need to make sure that from our VM, which is being used as an agent, from that VM we are able to connect to our AKS cluster. Okay, so let's go to the VM, and you can see here, since we need to run AZ commands, Azure Cli commands, but it is saying not found. So what we will do, we will install the commands to install Azure Cli. Okay, so I will first run this command, and don't worry, like all the links will be in the description or the comment, so you can just follow the links. So let me just install the packages for Azure Cli. Okay, copy this one and paste it. Okay, so finally we will be installing the AZ CLI once update is done. Last command is okay. Meanwhile, what I will do, I will just copy this URL also so that I can just paste it next time, and I will paste it here. Yeah. Okay, coming back to this. Okay, so this is done. If I run AZ, yeah, you can see it is installed now. So what we need to do now, we will run the command as AZ login to connect to our specific the subscription thing. Okay, so what we need to do, from any browser we need to run this command. Okay, so what I will do, inside my phone I will run this command, and we need to provide this code to authenticate. Okay, so I will open my phone browser and run the command as this one, and for the code we will just copy the code sjtmw2 then again w, then 2, then c. Now once you do this, then automatically on your browser it will show that it has been authenticated or something. Okay, so let's wait for some time. Yeah, so as you can see now, it got authenticated because this above process I just ran in my phone. Okay, so this part is done. Next, what I will do, now we need to run this command to connect to our AKS cluster. Okay, so, and if you are thinking from where to get from this AKS command, what I will do, I will go back to repository, go to our Kubernetes cluster, and here one option is there which is connect. Yeah, this one. If I click on it, you can see this command, AKS get credentials. So I just copied it, and next I will paste it inside the VM. So let me just copy and we'll paste it here. Click enter. You can see merged demo -aks1 as current context in this .cube config file. Okay. Finally, what we need to do, we need to connect our container registry to Kubernetes cluster. So for that, here the name of the this command we will run, but we will just modify a little bit. We'll provide the name of cluster, resource group, and the ACR. So the cluster name is demo-aks1, and resource group is this one, and ACR name is Aditya. Yeah, so let me run this command as well, and let's see then what happens. We'll paste it, click enter. Okay, it is working, and let's see how long it takes. Once this part completes, then we can install kubectl inside our VM. Okay, and then we can create the release pipelines for deployment of application to the Azure AKS cluster. Okay, so let's wait for this part to be completed so that our ACR can be attached to AKS. It is still running only. Also, as I said, that every stage, every commands that I am running here will be pasted in the comment section or inside the description. Okay, so I will just modify this also. Style. Okay. Okay, it's still running. Okay, so maybe what I will do, I will just fast forward the video till it's completed. Okay, so as you can see, the command has been successfully run, and our ACR has been successfully attached with our AKS. Okay, yeah, so I will press Ctrl L to clear this. Okay. Okay, now what actually these things are done. If I run this kubectl command, you can see not found. That means we need to install kubectl next. So that also I have here. Let me just paste this URL as well so that you can follow this one. Yeah, next I will run the command which is here. Okay, so let's copy this one and paste it here. It is downloading the package. Okay, next we need to run this command. Copy this and paste it here. Then we will validate the same and run this command. Give the output as okay. Finally, we will install the kubectl. So we'll copy this and paste it here. Okay, this is done. And just to check if it is running fine or not, so we will run this and we can see, yeah, it is up and running. Now if I run this kubectl get nodes, you can see it gave the node. This is the one which we have recently created. Okay, so this is running fine. Now finally we are going back to our organization and we will create the release pipelines. as you just saw that we have already created the CI build and we have built and pushed our Docker image. Okay, so now we will click on releases, click on new pipeline, and here we will select deploy to Kubernetes cluster, click on apply, and we will just change this name to deploy to AKS. Close this, and here we will add the artifact. Now if you remember, instead of artifact like jar var, we have selected we have copy and published our YAML file, so that will be used in the deployment. Also I will change the name here, deploy to AKS. Okay, now we will edit the pipeline for deployment. First one, it will be same agent. Here we will select our own pool, yeah, and kubectl. Here we will now here again we need to create a new service connection for Kubernetes, because as of now it's not present. So we'll click on manage, and here we will click a new service connection, and here we will select Kubernetes. Where it is, yeah, here. Click on next. It will see the subscription, and now we need to provide the credentials. So I will provide the email and password. Okay, yeah, password has been provided, and if I expand this cluster, you can see it is able to provide the cluster also. Okay, it is loading namespaces, so we will just use the default one. Okay, and it is showing use cluster admin credentials. Okay, first of all, let me just provide a name, grant access. Okay, here what we will do, we will just leave it as it is and click on save. Once this is done, okay, this is completed, we will go back to our pipeline, and here if I expand this, you can see the service connection is visible now. Namespace we will leave it as it is. In place of command, if I expand it, apply, we will select, and we will use configuration files. And if I browse this, you can see the inside drop folder, this is the YAML file. Okay, if I click OK. Okay, meanwhile, okay, one more thing I missed. I will open the repository, and here open the YAML file. Okay, so we need to edit it little bit. What we need to edit, if I go to container registry, go to repositories, the repository, and the, yeah, so this is the name we need to provide for the image inside our here. So we will edit this, and we will remove this and provide this name. This is the repository, this is the Docker image, okay, along with tag. Okay, now we will just commit it. Okay, after commit, what I will do, I will run the pipeline again. Maybe what I will do, I will just edit it, and okay, no changes, and I will just click on Q and run it again. Okay, it won't take much time to complete, so let's see. Okay, it has started. Okay, Maven also completed, and build and push. Yeah, you can see here latest image with the latest tag has been created. Okay, okay, this has been completed. We will go back to our release pipeline. So what I will do, I will create it again. Click on new pipeline inside release. Here we will select the deploy to Kubernetes cluster, provide a name as deploy to AKS, close this one, select the artifact. For that we will select the latest build and click on add, and again we will edit it. So yeah, this one we will select as pool 10, which is ours, and here we will deploy. Also this release pipeline name also I will change, deploy to AKS. Yeah. Okay, now service connection we have already created, AKS con. Namespace we will leave it because by default it will take the default namespace, and in command we will use apply. Both you can use apply or create. Create is used just for like if you are creating for the first time. Apply can be used in both cases, for the first time as well as for update also. And next we will click on use configuration files. Here we will browse the place and select the configuration file, which is YAML. Click OK, and yeah, this is pretty much, and we'll click on save and click on create release. Click on create. Now let's see. Okay, it is in progress. Let's see the logs. I hope it runs for the first time only, but if not, then we will fix the issues. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the deploy part has been successfully ran. So what I will do, I will go back to the repository. Go back to the VM. Here I will run the command as kubectl get pods. Okay, and you can see the Springboard pod has been up and running, and to access it I will run the command as kubectl get svc, and this is the external IP address using which we can access. So I will copy this, paste it in the here. What was the port? Okay, 80 itself. Okay, maybe I will put it. Click enter, and you can see this is up and running. This is very interesting. And if I click on submit successful, any name you can provide, submit, and get all customers. Yeah, so okay, this is written the EKS cluster, but this is not this is written because this particular repository is not mine, but it is I just took it from GitHub. But as you can see, it is just working fine. Okay, one more thing what I want to show you is like how we are making changes inside our repository, and then how it affects the deployment. Meanwhile, here you can see just one pod is running. Okay, correct. Okay, so let me make some changes and let me show you what happens next. Okay, so what actually I wanted to show you, as we saw here, kubectl get pods, you can see just one pod is running, right? And this is the YAML file. If I make changes here, for example, you can see the replicas number is 1. If I change it to 2 and click on commit, click on pipelines, and we will rerun the pipeline. And now once this is completed, what we will do, we will redeploy the application as well. Okay, then you will see that the number of pods should be 2 because the number of replicas is 2. Okay, so let it complete. Maven completed, build and push. Also, as I said, I took that repository from GitHub, so I will put the URL as well in the description, so you can also use the same. Okay, so the pipeline has been completed. Now we will go to releases, and here we will open the first release, edit it little bit. Okay, maybe task. Okay, everything fine only. So one second, I will just click on create release since everything is same, and let's open the new release logs. Yeah, it has started. Okay, deploy is also successful. Now if I go back to VM, run this command as kubectl get pods. As we can see now, there are two pods for the same application. This is because we have selected that there will be two replicas. Okay, so this is how we can create AKS as well as deploy applications. Meanwhile, if I go back to AKS cluster inside the Azure portal, if I go on, click on workloads, okay, here you can see my Spring Boot dash deployment. This is also present. Number of replicas you can see 2. So this is pretty much how we can build and deploy our Spring Boot based application to AKS cluster. So I hope this video was useful. If it was, then you can give it a like, and if you are new on my channel, then please subscribe. So thanks for watching.